So I've been absent on YouTube. It's been a little over 8 months now. I've seen all of your comments on my socials. You're probably wondering why I went ghost. Well, over the last several months, I've been battling something. It all started in November of last year. One day I noticed I had some strange balding patterns forming in my hair. I thought it was odd, but I didn't read too much into it. I go about my business, living my best life, you know, the usual. 2 weeks later, I noticed this. A week later, then this. 2 weeks later, this. Okay, this thing is spreading, but I'm still not alarmed yet. Another week goes by, and then this. It's all over my head. Doesn't matter how much moisturizer I put on, it's bone dry 2 hours later. And I'm developing sores on my ears. I don't know what this thing is, but it's coming in hot. I need to see somebody yesterday. I call up the VA, I give them the rundown, we get 2 appointments on the books. 2 days later, I'm at the VA main campus, the place is a palace. I pepper this guy with a million dumb questions, he handles it well. He takes a few photos with this funky camera setup. Within 3 days, I get a diagnosis. I have scalp psoriasis and seborrheic dermatitis. Cool. The second one doesn't scare me. The first one does. Psoriasis is an autoimmune disease. That's just a fancy way of saying your body likes to attack itself. This is what normal skin function looks like, okay? So with scalp psoriasis, you have an overactive immune system in the scalp area. This hyperactivity drives rapid cell growth, resulting in scales, plaque formation, skin lesions, crazy dandruff, just all of the things. There is no cure for this disease, but we can definitely treat the symptoms. Cool. Possible causes. 1, genetic predisposition. If you have relatives who have this thing, you might get it. I don't know of anybody in my family who has it. Cause number 2, smoking. A number of studies have found smoking to be an independent risk factor for psoriasis. Depending on how much you've smoked, you may be twice as likely to develop psoriasis later in life. My mother is a hardcore smoker, straight up and down. She smoked around my brother and I for years. A few studies suggest a connection between exposure to secondhand smoke and psoriasis. If this is true, I was screwed out of the gate. When I got older, I picked up the habit for a few years and then I quit, right? Been quit for like 10 years. So I have a history of smoking, both direct and indirect. Let's continue. Factor number 3, stress. While stress is not a cause of developing psoriasis, if it's in your genetic wheelhouse, stress can bring it out. Here's the thing, man. I handle stress pretty well. It takes a lot to stress me out. I make these giant YouTube videos that take a ton of work. I'm doing weekly short film breakdowns on Patreon. Those peeps in the Patreon community have heard me once a week. We're coming up on 40 breakdowns and counting. I've been working on a course for the last 6 months. I've got 2 big short film projects in post. Like, I'm always juggling like all of these things, right? If I couldn't handle stress, I wouldn't be able to do this. But then there's also the crazy 2-hour start to finish project I did last year. That was like 9 months of stress. By the time that I realized that this was going to be another one of those meat grinder projects, I already passed the point of no return. I have done everything that I told myself I wouldn't do. I've put my life on hold. I pushed everything else aside, including YouTube, to focus on it. I've tried outsourcing work to help expedite things. Didn't work. Total flippin' meat grinder. I did not handle that well. This thing showed up a few months after I finished that project. Coincidence? Is it possible that the constant stressors I've dealt with over the years have brought this on? And I'm wondering how bad this is gonna get. 2 weeks later, my arsenal of medications arrives by mail. First up, salicylic acid 2% shampoo, scale softener. Apply and lather for 10 minutes, then rinse. To be used every other day or 4 times a week. We're alternating the acid with this. Ketoconazole 2% shampoo for dandruff, itchiness, and flaking. Apply and lather 1 capful, leave in for 10 minutes, then rinse. Clobetasol 0.05% solution. It's a topical steroid. This stuff is powerful. Within 2 days, I see a difference. Fluconazole for fungal infection. Taking this one for 2 weeks just in case. Fluocinolone ointment reduces swelling and inflammation. This makes the itchy burniness more manageable. And this last one I've been using upon recommendation. Hollywood Beauty tea tree oil. Great for all sorts of things, but in this case, it's good for ravenous, monstrously, impossibly dry psoriatic scalps, like mine. I've got to make some lifestyle changes. First up, the diet. Any one of these foods could be causing flare-ups. I'm gonna have to experiment with my food to see what might be causing it, particularly alcohol. It dehydrates the body, dries out the skin, and causes flare-ups. So I can't crack a beer after a long day of work. Interesting. Next up, sleep hygiene. Some studies have shown that getting more sleep proves more effective than most other treatments. Kind of a tough one for me. I hit the sack at around 10:30 p.m. if I'm lucky, and I usually get up at 3:30, maybe 4 a.m. every morning. Something's gonna have to give here because I need to get more sleep. 2 weeks in, and this thing has already taken a toll on me, fam. I avoid cutting my hair because it causes flare-ups. Never been much of a hat guy, but hey, this is just another opportunity to rock some new headgear, huh? The glass is half full. The scaling, bruh. I'm applying oil about twice a day and I'm still getting crazy bad dandruff. I'm brushing my shoulders, jackets, glasses off at least like 10 times a day. Hard to keep up. I'm using so much oil that my hats are leaving oil stains all over the place. I'm waking up to oily pillows. I'm a pretty level-headed guy, if I must say so myself. But it's hard to rise above the emotional toll this thing takes on you. I feel alone, I feel dirty, I feel undesirable. Objectively speaking, these emotions don't make any sense. But hey, feelings are feelings, I let myself feel it and I keep it moving. We got some makeup to try to cover some things up so I could get back to filming. This is the baseline here with no makeup. Not terrible, but kind of distracting. I would rather not read hundreds of comments with people asking what's going on with my coconut. The Maybelline 147 came in second best. The ELF Flawless Satin Oil-Free Foundation was the clear winner. It matches my skin the best, and it doesn't aggravate my skin, causing flare-ups. I never thought I would hear myself ever say in a million years that I'm excited about makeup, but I am excited about makeup. As long as my situation doesn't get worse, I could just go back to business as normal with makeup. Best news ever. Despite my best efforts, it's still a roller coaster. It gets better, it gets worse, it gets better, it gets worse, it gets better, it gets worse. And then I have my second telederm appointment 3 months later. So things have gotten better, but it's showing signs of spreading. We're gonna give it another 3 months, but if this keeps up, we might have to look into alternative means of treatment. Great. This thing's been in the back of my mind for months now. I'm sick of worrying about it. One of these other treatments is bound to work. I could try the ultraviolet phototherapy thing. There's biologics, I could try that. In the grand scheme of things, this ain't that big a deal, man. Callie Muscle almost died of a heart attack. Austin McConnell, he's got heart issues. Swoop, she's got the genetic dental issues thing. That's a lifelong battle. At the end of the day, other people are dealing with far worse issues. I'm done, I'm just done, man. I'm done stressing about this. And then, this happened. Over the last few months, it's gotten really bad. I can't even hide it with makeup. Lost a lot of hair, hyper and hypopigmentation on some parts of my face. I figured rather than continue to hide it, why not just make a video about it? Which leads us to now. Well, here we are. No makeup. About 3 weeks ago, as I was making this video, just started clearing up. Flipped on like a light switch and then flipped off like a light switch. Super freaking weird. My hair is coming back. Still a little patchy, a little uneven, but it's coming back. Thought I would have some permanent scarring, but it looks like it's healing up nicely. I planned on having this terrible reveal, right? So I'm a little disappointed, just like a little bit, because this is kind of uneventful, but I'll take it. I will take it. I will gladly take a disappointing end to a video to have my freaking face and my scalp back. this is a lifelong thing, right? Like the odds of this coming back are highly likely, especially given the bout that I had with it. But if it comes back, it comes back, man. It is what it is. I'll deal with it. Good seeing you guys.